the dot-com bubble. Okay, and back then it was just internet stocks, and it was the same thing. I mean, you could have been riding the IPOs, and that happened for over 2 years where people were making a very significant amount of money before that went away. But the beauty of what we're doing now and how it's evolved since then is that moves like you're seeing here, you know, in VLTC and PTBI and Momo, okay, different industries, different stocks, but they're being discovered by the individuals, and they're being discovered by individuals with access to the information, okay? I guarantee you the investment bankers would have rather this whole deal happen, you know, on the inside, kind of what always used to happen on the street, off balance sheet sort of stuff, where it gets refinanced at 2, and next thing you know, it opens up private equity at 20, and here you go, enjoy it, trade VLTC. But now with trade ideas and what we're doing with trying to discover these patterns, you have access to it. And this is what our algorithms and what our artificial intelligence is all about. So the last example of these, actually no, I have a couple more, but this is another one where, again, I'm just trying to show you that it's not just every single one of these goes and then, you know, goes all the way back down and it's a quick slam, bam, boom. Here's your ADXS, okay? And notice the first circle where I circled the slide where that large volume started coming up, and right above 5, I mean, this thing looked like it was about as overbought as you can get. Your RSIs were overbought, your Bollinger Bands were overbought, your McAllister, McNaffey bands, your MacGyver bands, every band you can imagine was overbought at $5. But that's why you don't listen to bands, you listen to statistical analysis. And what you find out is there was this telltale sign and there was this opportunity, okay? And even here, okay, when this, just like all these things, look, it's the end, here we go, ADXS up to 12, back to 5. I'm not saying it was easy, but there sure was a lot of volatility, and look at the stabilization that it made after that, you know, kind of staying around that 750 area and then just proceeding upward at a pace where almost anybody and everybody could have participated in it. And now you're talking about a threefold rise, a 300% rise. Okay, let's get back to that $100,000 you got trading. Okay, let's say you popped into, luckily, ADXS, okay, and you bought 5,000 shares or whatever. Let's call it 10,000 shares. Not that you would do that, but I'm just saying, let's say that did happen. Well, now your $70,000 investment, okay, just went to 210,000. Okay, now you've got 110,000 that you can live off while you keep your $100,000 account. That's the difference. You know, and it's not rocket science. I mean, you have to be exposed to it. There is an amount of, I mean, there's no guarantees either, guys. I mean, there's no magic bullet that all of a sudden says, hey, ADXS, guys, we're ready for our, you know, stock that's going to go up 300%. But you've got to be at least tuned into the possibilities, right? That's what Trade Ideas brings to the table. Okay, it's tuning in to these possibilities. So let's look at doing this the hard way. Okay, so this is me, and again, for those that have been here before, you've probably seen this story, but I'm old. Okay, I'm not that old, I'm 44. And I started investing actively shortly after college. I was very lucky because my parents funded me my first account. That doesn't happen to everybody, but I started with $50,000 and almost lost all of it. It was terrible. Okay, it took me 2 years to really turn it around and figure out an edge. And by the way, that edge, and this is why I was talking about studying and is it even worth it? That edge that I had figured out from 1994 to 1996 does not exist anymore. But it was there at the time, and it was so good that I was able to really leverage it. I was able to press it at the right time, make that kind of money that the article was about, and really parlay that into starting Trade Ideas. So this is, again, this is what it was based on. And so the reason I'm saying that this is the hard way is, again, is because this is about the AI. is that using computers to do what took me a decade to do is why you're here at Trade Ideas, and what we provide through either our service or the Trade Ideas Trade of the Week, which is free. And we're going to get into exploring what that one is, and also I'll show you how some of the Trade Ideas trades have done. So again, and that's why I'm called doing it the hard way, is because you really can't do this anymore. So I'm just giving you perspective. Artificial intelligence, what does it do that you can't do? This is just a picture to kind of show you how people have contemplated computers seeing numbers. So it's approaching this in a completely different way. It's able to do the kind of math that makes you sick, but it's doing it so quickly and learning from it and seeing what's working and what doesn't. So remember when I was initially showing everybody what does it mean, you know, when you run a strategy and you don't have any help for artificial intelligence, you can run through like 3,000 scenarios and the answer is pretty stinky. So this is what happens when you add artificial intelligence to it. So remember we had started with this volume spike, okay? So we started with this volume spike and we said, computer, trade all these instances where this volume spike happened, and then how do you manage that into a strategy where I feel like there's some repeatability. So what the computer does is it goes back in time and it looks at all of our data points, and like we said, there's probably millions of combinations that it's considering, millions upon millions. And it's going through all these trades and putting all these filter values in our system, and then it comes up with the, if you look at the very top where you see like the pastel kind of colored icons, these are the filter minimum and maximum values that the computer automatically then says, hey guys, here's how I would trade it if I was able to you know, use this information to make a strategy. Okay? So that's the power of idea generation. That's what we bring to the table, and the second half of this Trade of the Week webinar presentation will be showing you how we do that, how we start with the idea. But at the very high level, the first thing that I want you to do is understand what we're trying to do, which is we're trying to go from randomly guessing, which is what we had on here. So again, if you're just looking at the 200-day moving average and you think it looks good, this is what your odds are going to be, roughly. So you would die trading. And this is what happens when you add AI to it. This is our capabilities. This is what you're here for in terms of Trade of the Week. And this is also what we sell to our subscribers. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a little break and I'm going to have Scott Olson come in here, talk about, again, what we do as a business. And then after that, I'm going to do the Q&A and I'm going to jump into, well, I'll do the Q&A last, but I'm going to jump into the actual software, how everything works, what it all looks like, and you'll be able to see it. So Scott, you want to take over real quick?
Yeah, sure. Would you mind putting on slide 16? I want to, thank you. Yeah, I just want to take a moment to explain how our current subscription models work and explain which the best ones would be for you. So currently we have the month, which is $99, the monthly, which is recurring, and it renews every month at $75. Our Advantage player, which has a higher payment up front, but it renews at $43 a month. So it's $236 for the first payment, and then it renews at $43. We have a quarterly payment, which is non-renewing. It's the same as buying 3 months of the monthly. We have a year that is $628 for the year. That's 30% less than what the monthly cost would be for the year. So the monthly for the year would be $900. You can buy it for $628. Saves you money. Our odds maker model is a lifetime subscription. Once you purchase the odds maker, which is necessary to do some of the things Dan's showing you, you have it for as long as you Trade Ideas subscriber. There's no change to that. We will do custom strategies for you that suit your trading style for $250 each. And if you can go to the next slide there.
Oops, sorry.
Okay, so now the next, yeah. So here's the way the plans save you money. So the Advantage Player plan, which I mentioned has the higher upfront payment, really begins to overtake the other plans after 2 years. So for a long-term customer, the Advantage Player is the way to go. If you're with us for under 6 months, the cheapest one is the $75 a month option. The yearly rate saves you for the first year, but after 2 years, you would have been better off with Advantage Player, and then that continues on from there. So some of you who have attended our previous Trade of the Week webinars have seen the software being demonstrated, and you've seen that we have charting coming, and we also have an AI channel, which is an optimized channel coming. When those get released, we are going to restructure our payments, and the $75 a month is going to go up to $99. The other rates are also going to increase, and that will happen some point this summer. So this is the time of year before summer comes to get in at these lower rates before we raise the rates. If you're in at one of these lower rates and maintain your membership, then you're grandfathered in, and you get the AI channel. You get the, if you already have the odds maker, you get the AI channel, and you get the the charting that gets rolled in as well. So after Dan answers some of your questions, I will close out the webinar by thanking you all with some product codes and special offers, as a thank you for attending. Dan?
Okay, awesome. All right, guys, so what I'm going to do real quick now is I'm going to jump into the software, talk about how you view, where you find some of these amazing moves, what it looks like, and then we will, again, answer questions and do all that good stuff. So Trade Ideas is a idea generation platform. We want to help you see the market in a way that nobody else shows you how to see it. So the way we approach it is through this channel view that's very similar to like a Netflix. And again, this is kind of like think of this as the beginning stage of formulating what it takes to make a strategy work. So here again, notice we can break things up so that you can at least right away be in the know about what's starting these kind of moves like I've showed in the presentation. Well, let's take a look at some of this. Look at ISR. Look at this move right here from $2 to $3. Okay, remember this has some of the exact telltale signs that we were looking at when we were showing you the examples before, where this looked just so overbought, right? Like let me just expand this out real quick. And what you're looking here are my charts. So as I've told some of the people here, we might not have data for every single symbol, but this one certainly we do. And this is a daily chart, okay? And look at this volume. We're talking about 50 million, shares. So this is what we are looking for, and the thing is, while we have all of this information, you, the subscriber, you don't even have to sit there in front of your computer all day long, because we have all these different ways that we can show it to you. We have this information available on the web, where it can stream to you, to your phone, to your iPad. We just released that web-based version. We also have messaging where an alert can be sent to you in text or SMS that says, hey, this ISR is really starting to make a move. And by the way, we really try to provide our Trade Ideas Trade of the Week webinar people some good information. As you guys know, and I'm just digressing for a second, we covered this trade, was one of our Trade Ideas Trades of the Week, and when we talked about it, it just started to show the telltale signs of this stuff. This move right here was the initial one, where the volume was just much bigger, but we talked about it in the twos, and it jumped from 2 quickly to like 340. Then it had that initial pullback again. It's kind of similar to what you've seen before, and then it jumped from 2 to 4. I mean, so in the span of the time that you guys were at our Trade of the Week webinar, our AI was at least able to find one stock that went from $2 to $4 in the span of time that that we've discussed it. And this is the thing that, and everybody here who is again who gets these trade ideas trades of the week, you can see it. We sent it out. We talked about how there's a lot to like about this, and this is our approach. You don't always have to subscribe, but the idea is that for subscribers, you're just going to get the statistical analysis-based information where ISR, which by the way is triggered on one of our AI running systems, and this is kind of like potentially your freebie. Keep an eye on ISR. That's the best that we can tell you. Be exposed to it because it's showing some of these signs. Okay, so you can look around these stocks and have the ability to find the information. And here's the very important part. And again, and this is what the computer does better than the person, is this ATMN on a 15-minute chart looks amazing. If this was the daily chart, this could really seem like this is a pattern that you want to go to, you know, that it's a breakout. But the thing is that it just doesn't quite really still register on the grand scheme of things. So even though this looks good, this doesn't meet the criteria. And that's what our computers do for you. This is what they do, is that they take a strategy, okay, and they come up with all of these components, and then you see, well, what am I working with, and how do I work with it in real time? So notice that when we model a strategy, I'm trying to go against such incredible odds that I could still make decent money with paying $78 commissions and losing 20 cents each way. Okay? That is, by the way, I mean, that is the way I demonstrate what our tool is able to do. Notice when I adjust the commissions, the curves start to move. So $30 in and $30 out, this system really doesn't affect it. And that's the thing. I mean, a lot of people make a lot of noise about, oh, this commission and that commission. For a real trading strategy, commission really should not be a huge factor in it, especially at the retail level, because, I mean, we're looking to get $1.93, you know, for 80 cents that we lose, a 2x, over 2x type of difference. So that's the beauty of it, is that you really have some room to work with. So now you can maybe understand that that what we're trying to give you and what we're trying to make you listen to is just a type of information. It's not the guru information. It's not potentially the thing that's super hot, you know, on Twitter, although eventually it will be, because the people that are running the chat rooms, a lot of them are using trade ideas, so it's all good. But the information is here. And again, you can channel surf. You can take this, and if you don't like just looking at this, you can quickly adjust your views and see things in a totally different way. And you'll notice again that some of the same stocks are showing up, PBMD, okay? And again, then you can quickly start scanning the overall market and seeing, well, there's something else come up that looks similar. Well, this one right here, OXGN, is starting to show some of the signs. Notice that big volume bar, but it really needs to go above here for it to get interesting. But remember what I had said before. Well, why are you guys here? I mean, you're here to be exposed to it. So with trade ideas, whether you're a surgeon, doctor, lawyer, you can look at this on the iPad, see what's going on these channels, and see what you want to be exposed to. You can make, I mean, you can still be involved with it. But then you can also get trades that are completely statistically analyzed. So here is that system. So this is what it looks like. And this is called the long 3-day swing signal on 20-day highs with a volume spike. So the computer eventually added a lot of information to it. And when you run it, you know, with the dollar stop 3-day swing, you do certain time frames, and you can adjust these time frames for yourself. When we make strategies, we sometimes make strategies for surgery time. It's like a doctor, surgeon will have typically surgery scheduled in the morning, so he doesn't trade there, but he wants to trade the last 2 hours. So again, you simulate the buy, you run it, it starts, and it'll go through the numbers. And notice again that it takes time for a system to work through itself. You know, even a optimized system does not necessarily guarantee you 100% success. There's nothing like that. But what we want to assure you of is that when you're working with us and when you're working with trade ideas, you're just taking the best statistical guesstimate at what's available, you know, in terms of speculative risk capital. So this is how, again, this is how we run it. I mean, you're going through tons and tons of trades, and the computer runs through the numbers and builds the curve. So when it's done, I'll bring it back. Again, you already saw it. So that's what this looks like. And every strategy we have that we make for you, you can go inside and you can see exactly what is it the computer did, how is it made, and then you can start imagining, wow, man, these guys have all these filters in here, all this stuff, like which stocks were you looking at compared to the market? There's just so much depth of data. But the beauty is that you don't have to like be a rocket scientist and dive in there and do it. You know, this is our goal. Our goal is to provide you with the actionable statistical analysis so that you don't have to worry about it. You know, and here it is. It says right away, HEI has approximately a 58% chance of being higher 3 days from now at 63.40. And the idea is, you know, don't lose too much. Like, again, take your stops. So we probably would have been stopped out of this one. Again, I'm not 100% sure if this is today or not, but let me take a look. Yeah, it looks like today, 20th. Yeah, so this one was a stop, and that happens. You know, you get into something, doesn't always work, but the idea is that every single stock that comes through here while we are running the odds should have a very similar level of success. And like I said, there's, whether you're trading 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, all we want to do is we want to get you in the most statistically sound concept that you can make more money, that you can be in the types of moves, that are like the stocks you're seeing here. And by the way, here's another one, PRAN, that has come up on our systems that's also starting to show that sign where it's starting to go through, cover the gap, and it's doing it on volume. So this is another one that you should be aware of. And this is one of our, you know, again, pieces of information that we want you to be aware of by being exposed to the trade ideas and to our trade of the week. This is all for free. You know, PRAN is starting to behave like it wants to be accumulated. PBMD, you know, this one is hard to say. It still looks very interesting, and I like moves like this because when they look very overbought is when typically they continue to go. So there's tons of different themes of information, from long-term to China to retail to cybersecurities to stocks that are fundamentally strong. There's just a lot. There's just a depth of information where you can sort every window and find stuff that has the highest earnings per share or the strongest revenues, if that's what you think matters. But the thing that, or options for that matter. But the most important thing, and this is what we are really trying to focus on these presentations, is it doesn't really matter what you like per se. What matters is what's working, and that's what we want to bring to the table. You know, and here is really the latest development that we have, which is a fully automated AI channel, which we're going to be bringing to market in June, where every single one of these strategies is statistically validated every single evening, so that there's no slip between the software learning what to do and you getting the information. And this automated AI channel is going to be available as an add-on for people, or if you are with us currently before we launch it, and especially if you, well, not especially, you have to have odds maker access. That channel will be available to you for free. Otherwise, it will cost an extra $99 a month. And in addition, when our charts go live, And Brad Williams had mentioned this in one of our earlier webinars, but we're really pushing the envelope on the development side. So our charts, which are going to be going live very soon, when that goes live, and it's going to be an alpha and beta, so that everything can be tested. But when it goes live, the software will become $99 a month from $75. So we keep stressing that there's just a good time for everybody in the summer to get on with us, because we are the ones, Trade Ideas are the ones that push the idea generation and technology envelope farther than anybody. Let me see if I can bring up a test here real quick. Hold on one second. Okay, so when we're doing this, this is, again, you can compare this to a couple of other products out there in the market, but when we do this analysis, and you're seeing these numbers and you're seeing how they're counted, if you can imagine that if you were trying to do something similar in a product that everybody knows that's been a stalwart in the industry, like TradeStation, if you're trying to script this through TradeStation, you would have to write, well, in this case, at least 40 scripts already. 40 meaning one for every single stock to figure out what works. Our database and the way we crunch numbers, that's what completely takes it to a different level. We're allowing you to access the kind of database that competitors don't have. So that's our pleasure to do. We are the leaders in this. We are very proud of this technology, and we're just providing insight to the kind of alpha generation that has never existed before, because this kind of information has not been available. That's why all the time, if you follow us on social media, and I'll have a little a slide where you can see all of our information and contacts. If you follow us on social media, you'll see that while we don't disparage using technical analysis, what we know is that by itself, technical analysis is simply a point. Nothing more. It's just another data point, and alone it means almost nothing. What you have to do is combine it with everything else. You got to combine it, you got to put it together, and then run the odds on it. And only we have that capability. So that's why we're so excited. I mean, we're ushering in a new age. And just like in the early 90s when I became a trader, level 2 was the big thing. Well, you're looking at level Q. It's the level quantitative, where you're really looking underneath the data to see what the numbers are and making educated investment decisions. So any alert and strategy you have in Trade Ideas, you can test. You can also convert top lists to alerts, and you can you can ask questions that way. So let me do this. So now that I've talked about it and shown you what we do, what I'm going to do is I'm going to field questions from you guys, and I'll field them. Then Scott will come back with all the promo codes, and then we'll call it a night in about 10 minutes. So let me see what I can do here. And again, keep asking. I'm going to go to the top, find something really interesting. And oh, Dan, here's a question. You are so handsome. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so how long? Ashraf asked the question: how often is the oddsmaker updated in terms of tools? Well, the oddsmaker is updated every time we add something new to Trade Ideas. It instantly gets updated. And from the point of view of technology, we're constantly adding, it's really adding more processing power. So the way Trade Ideas works, guys, is we are a server farm. We have tons of servers, and the servers hold our databases, and then we crunch the data, and whenever we add new filters or alerts, that's all included in the oddsmaker. So, okay, let's see. There's another question. It seems like there's a pattern of losing trades for the first 20 or 30 trades. Why is that? Well, it doesn't always happen, Debbie. And again, it's funny that you say it seems like there's a pattern. Well, you just noticed something, and it's probably somewhat, random. We can't force it to be good right away because the strategy is a strategy. It has the statistics behind it. But, and this is again so that everybody understands, there is no such thing as a fortune teller. You're just making a guesstimate. And so there's no reason to look for why are the first 20 or 30 poor. And there's also no suggestion to say that, well, once you start trading the strategy, the next 20 or 30 could be poor. poor. Could it happen? Obviously. But the question is, well, how can you do the best that you can do with the information that you have? And that's what we're saying is here. So that brings me to something else, and I think a lot of you, or at least some of you, already take advantage of this. So Trade Ideas has a chat room that's free for everybody, where Barry Ironson, he's one of our lead traders and technicians. He really helps everybody go through the day utilizing the technology. You can learn from other people who've been doing it for years, and I don't know if you saw the polls. I mean, we have a lot of long-term customers because people understand that to really gain an advantage, you have to have the right information, and that's what we have. We have the information you need to succeed. Is there other information? Do we have everything? Well, it's impossible to have everything, but certainly we have the stuff that at the very baseline you must have if you want to have access to the best moves first, which is important when you're trading stocks like this. Okay, so Yahoo put option and call option, what do you do with that information from her? I don't really know what you mean. So in terms of Yahoo put option and call option, you're probably, so I share a lot of my portfolio information. If you're talking about a trade that I had Yahoo Leaps because Yahoo was looking like a trending stock in an algorithm that we ran, well, that we've been running for a while. Oh, you're talking about this. Oh, okay. Sorry. Well, I mean, okay. So it has the highest put volume today, but that put volume is actually less than the call volume. So it's all relative. It just means that it was trading a lot. I would say, what does that mean? Absolutely nothing. And that's part of what the trick is. You've got to look. So it's up here at number 1 on the highest put volume, but it's number 2 on the highest call volume. Okay, so it's probably a little more interesting to resort it by, well, what's got almost all one way or the other. So here's Universal Health Services, which is all put volume. And notice again, I'm just showing you how you can quickly sort all of our data. And do you guys see how this jumps out at you right away? Well, Advanced Auto Parts, okay, which has almost all put volume. This is all real-time, Chad, if you're a subscriber. So look at all of the volume today is on the put side, okay, and it has 2,500 of the usual options volume. So there's something definitely going on, and that's how you kind of take a look at this thing. I mean, look at $140. I don't know if you guys follow me, but I was recently showcasing again how I do use options from time to time, and I was very fortunate playing the LinkedIn earnings, and a stock at $149, if they miss, it's possible it could fall down 10, 20 points. That's how you make money in the option side, but you get notified, okay, when you see the unusual, okay, when you see this kind of, see how it just pops out at you, just like here, Sorella Therapeutics, okay, look at this, all on the call side, right? That's how you use the data manually. I mean, look at this thing. Okay. So okay, let me answer some more questions. So again, Chad, yes, everything is in real time. So what would be the best channel for day trading? That's a great question. I would urge everybody, Jacob specifically, that you don't keep a notion of the best channel. The idea is to work through them and find what's working for you and move around. You want to be as flexible as possible. But for those that trade actively, we have a channel, where did we put it? It's called Active Trading, okay? And it has just a larger swath of information that goes around pretty quickly. But again, you'll see that some of the names repeat, like biggest pullbacks on stocks with momentum. Here's that Momo that I was telling you guys about before. Well, here's the bounce on stocks that are down. So see, you have bounces and pullbacks, things that investors and traders look for. So, we instantly key you in on that. Look for statistical unusual behavior, statistically unusual things. Well, here you have great base and scientific. Well, what's statistically unusual about it, aside from the fact that it's up 26% today? Well, again, remember, guys, it's beginning, although right here, this is a 15-minute time frame, but it's the formation of the beginning of the telltale sign. This is what they look like. This could be the reversal. So for active trading, you're not going to miss much if you're on this, but it requires a little bit of expertise. So that actually brings me to something else, which is everybody who comes with us and subscribes, you are going to get a one-on-one training session where we really walk you through all of this information, okay? And that's our thing. Our service is the best in the business. We answer all of your support. We do our best to work with you on the strategy as much as we're able to. And again, the key right now, and what we want to keep you aware of is, here's where the opportunities are. Are you willing to spend $2.54 a day to have them? Because that's how much Trade Ideas and the Odds Maker cost if you take advantage of the promotion that Scott gave you for the $899. Let me see if I can bring that up again real quick.
Yeah, we haven't even talked about that yet today, Dan.
Yeah. Okay, so why don't we do this, Scott? Why don't you jump right on in? Because again, we're getting close to the end, and I want to finish up with the good stuff, which is the bargains that people can get so they can really take advantage of this tech.
All right. Yeah.
In the meantime, I'm going to try to find the presentation.
Yeah, well, you know, as part of a thank you for people, for you all attending the webinar and seeing how to use Trade Ideas, and also, you know, frankly, we are making a sales pitch because this is a business. So as part of a thank you, we like to provide a product code to everyone who's attending, who either may want to get on Trade Ideas for the first time or maybe upgrade into a different plan. Earlier in the presentation.
So Scott, real quick, Scott, which slide would you like me to be on?
I want slide 19.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah. So when I rolled through the different types of subscription models that we currently have, I showed you that if you're on the Advantage player, it is much cheaper especially after the 2-year point, but a little bit after 1 year, it becomes cheaper than either the annual plan or the monthly plan. But I have a code here today that's good until this Friday, end of business on Friday. It is TOW for Trade of Week 20, because today is the 20th. So it's TOW 20. Use that code, all caps, just as it's written when you check out with a credit card. You can go to tradeideas.com and click on plans and pricing to get to our price list. I also dropped that link in the chat. So you can see here what that is going to do for the prices. It drops the monthly down to $52.50 a month for the first month. It will renew at $75 a month afterwards. This discount is only for the initial payment. Yearly, you can get your first year for $439.60 instead of $628. You can get into the Advantage player for only $165.20 for that first payment, and then it renews at $43 a month. You know, this will bring it down probably to under a year that it's cheaper than, probably 10 months that it's cheaper than buying the yearly. And with that, I'm not counting the yearly with that discount though. I was talking about the $628 there, but those are good deals right there. If you don't have the odds maker, but you want to get the odds maker in anticipation of the AI channel that's coming out, you can get that for $660 instead of the $1,100 payment. Again, when you check out with a credit card, just use TOW20 on your order form page, and that should automatically take those numbers down to the discounted amounts. If you can flip to slide 20. Now, we have another deal that's still ongoing, and next slide, Dan, please. Another deal that's still ongoing for those of you who know the real value of Trade Ideas, and that is our $8.99 package deal. Now, to get this deal, you need to go to that bit.ly link that's on there. That takes you to the landing page where you can click through and it adds everything to the cart with the discounts. What it includes is an optimized strategy, which we charge $250 each for. It has the lifetime oddsmaker license, so you'll have oddsmaker forever. You'll have the full year of Trade Ideas, which is cost $628. You get all that for $899. So it's less than a cup of coffee a day for the first year you have it, and you've already seen what Trade Ideas can do for your strategy planning and back testing, strategy confirmation, plus the strategies that we give to you and the ones that are coming up in the AI channel. That's an outstanding deal, frankly. Um, so again, use product code TOW20 or go to this bit.ly link, bit.ly/899saver. And these links and the code and a replay of the webinar will be in an email that you will get later tonight after I've converted the video and uploaded to YouTube and sent out the email. Again, thank you everyone for attending. You can contact us at info@tradeideas.com with any questions. Follow Dan on Twitter at TradeIdeas1 and follow our main account at Trade Ideas. Follow us on Facebook and like our Facebook page. We sometimes post updates there as well. You can get in touch with Dan directly if you have a question for him. He's just dan@tradeideas.com. We're a very easy company to get a hold of, people. If you need to talk to someone about a strategy, or if you just need some advice about how to use the software, you can get a hold of us very quickly. So thanks everyone. Unless anyone has any additional questions, go ahead and look for that email later tonight. There's a question about Vantage Point, which I'm not familiar with, Dan. If you want to.
Yeah, again, if you can send us an email, we can break it down and give you a better answer than just doing it off the cuff. Yeah, shoot us a detailed email and we'll give you the best breakdown that we can. But again, for the price, guys, I mean, there's just you're not going to get anything that comes close to this, and this is going away. I mean,
right. When we launch the charts officially, we're going up to $99 a month for the standard rate. So even at a discounted standard rate, when it's $99 a month, you're not going to be able to touch this deal ever again once we go up to the higher rates, because our yearly rate's going to go up along with our standard rate. And we will have package deals. We will have deals, but the deals are going to be much more expensive because of the way we're restructuring the prices with the AI channel and the increase of prices for charts. So
yeah, I think what we're really trying to say and what we're communicating and have been for the last several months is, you guys, because our tech's moving forward so quickly here, you're basically getting first adopter advantages, even though we've been in the business for over 12 years. We're not a startup, but we're kind of like in a startup mode because we've just pushed the technology envelope. And in the email that you're going to get tonight, there's going to be a link also to demo some of our web-based stuff and all of this information that you can reiterate. But I really just suggest you take a chance, because if you're looking to make real income, spending $899 should not be your barrier to entry. And if it is, then this probably isn't the right business, and I'm being completely honest.
Well, and that is why we try and provide you with what it really is, a rationalization. It comes down to $3 a day for that $899 to absorb that for a year. Less than that, $246 a day. And I know pretty much no one in this room right now would think twice about spending that on a coffee on their way into the office. That coffee helps to optimize you for the day. Just spend the same amount to optimize your trading. It's kind of a no shit deal right there, I think. But
yeah. One last question from Jacob. No, Jacob, we're talking about our data, and we're talking about that they're exhibiting signs that we look for in our algorithms. But again, you don't get everything for free on the Trade of the Ideas Trade of the Week webinar. Part of it is sales, and that's what we're doing. Is that if you want to get access to the potential, and we've already proven ourselves in the VGGL. The last thing I'm going to do real quick, and I should have done this earlier, but we'll do this again next week, is just a quick glance for everybody. We're keeping track of our performance on the Trade Ideas Trade of the Week, and here you can kind of see, not all winners, certainly, but there have been some really there have been some amazing trades, and VGGL was, of course, one of them where we made 59%, and there's been some 29%ers and 15s. But that's the whole idea, is that this is the stuff you're getting for free. But we just want you to be aware that, we'll provide you with the information that you need to make informed decisions about it.
Oh, Debbie was just asking about if you sign up for the odds maker, is the existing subscription price guaranteed moving forward? Only if
Well,
you
I think
maintain your subscription without dropping off for too long. We generally
yes.
provide a grace period. There, we have if you look at the footer of our one of our web pages, there's a link to our billing policy, and that'll state how long those are for the various subscription types. If you want to make sure that you keep a low rate, then keep your current subscription or get a subscription now before the rates go up. It sounds like you know, like a pressure thing, but the fact is our rates are going to be going up and the product is improving and we have more value. We understand that we're more valuable
But
in new stuff. So,
and even when they will go up, it'll still be a great deal. But we're just saying that since you're here and you have the option, we want to make sure you're aware of the advantages that are
and the
available.
odds maker license is lifetime. Once you buy the odds maker with trade ideas, you have it. Whether you come or go with trade ideas, whenever you come back and activate your account, it's there.
Yep. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for listening to us, and please get in touch, go to our chat room, take advantage of this data. It's the new generation of artificial intelligence in investing, and it's going to really help you do better. Thank you.
Yeah, cheers everyone. Thank you. Bye.